The court system is another beat. Now, most court trials aren't newsworthy, except murder cases. Violent life and death dramas are filled with the conflict news value. Celebrity trials cover prominence. The more recognizable the celebrity, the more interesting it will be to your readers. Important legal rulings have an impact news value, as their ruling could have a serious impact on your audience. And finally, everyone loves a good human interest story. This is the emotions news value, a case that makes us angry, sad, or happy. When covering a court beat, here are some things to keep in mind. You'll want to learn how to navigate court records. Get familiar with what you need to find and where to find it. Some records are available online, but others will require a trip to the courthouse. Study the background of every case. You won't be able to ask questions during the proceedings, so make a cheat sheet of names, dates, and other pertinent facts. Be sure to be there for key moments, but you don't necessarily have to spend every minute in the courtroom. Don't trust everything attorneys tell you. It's their job to serve their clients, and they'll tell you whatever they can to convince you and your readers of a defendant's guilt or innocence. Remember to stay neutral. It's not up to you to decide whether a defendant is guilty. That's the judge or the jury's job. Finally, be balanced and careful. It's part of staying neutral. The defendant might give you the heebie-jeebies, but remember that things are not always as they seem. Something said in court is an allegation, not a fact. Attribute all testimony accurately. Reporters covering courts should know the procedures for misdemeanors, felonies, and civil suits. Each court handles things differently, but they all begin with an arrest or suit filed and end with a verdict or judgment. Misdemeanors are minor offenses, like traffic violations and loitering. They're typically punishable by fines and short jail time, typically of a year or less. Now, felonies are more serious crimes, like sexual assault and murder, with more severe punishments and longer jail time. And a third type of court proceeding is the civil suit. In criminal cases, the government moves against a defendant for breaking the law. In civil cases, an individual or group moves against a defendant to resolve a dispute, recover a right, or obtain compensation for an injury. Journalists also cover speeches, whether it's the President of the United States or the President of a local business or organization. In preparing to cover a speech, you can probably by now guess what the first step is. To research the speaker. Who is talking and why? What's the significance? Is the speaker or topic controversial? Might there be protesters at the event? Request an advance copy of the speech from organizers. One is often available from prominent figures on speaking tours. Now, if one isn't available, don't worry. Ask if picture taking is allowed, and if so, when. Some speakers do not allow photographs during their speech, or for only a brief period. Whatever you're told, follow the rules. Now, during the speech, you want to make sure that you get a good seat. You'll want to be able to see and hear the speaker clearly, but also be able to view the audience's reaction. Estimate the size of the audience. Now, this is something that I have trouble with. I can't look at a large group and know how many people there are. If you're like me, talk with the event organizers to help you get a more accurate count. You'll also want to monitor the mood of the crowd. Are they hostile, excited, enthralled? Bring these observation skills to the forefront to help add color to your story. You'll also want to take along a tape recorder. Even if you only use it for backup, it will help you make sure that your quotes are accurate. After the speech, create a compelling lead. Remember, the speech itself isn't the most important thing about the story. What the speaker said, or maybe the reaction to it, is generally what should be in the lead. But avoid topic leads. It's the big idea in the speech that is the story. Don't bog your readers down with unnecessary background and biographical data about your speaker. Establish who the person is, but then get to the speech. Highlight the speaker's key points. Use direct quotes, clearly attributed, as often as necessary. Arrange the speech topics in descending order of importance, rather than chronological order. Be sure to convey the tone of the speech. Is the speaker joking and playful, or serious and somber? Beware of false or libelous comments. Just because your speaker said it doesn't mean it's true. Double check every fact. Even if you clearly attribute the claim to the speaker, you and your publication can still be sued for libel. Either don't include something that might not be true, or refute it with the real story. Meetings are, more likely than not, boring. Nonetheless, it's important to cover governmental meetings like city councils and school boards, because it's the journalist's job to be a watchdog for the people. The average citizen doesn't have the time or interest to attend most meetings until journalists tell them that something important is happening. Journalists explain what the issues are, how decisions are made, and what it all means for your readers. Step 1, no matter what you are covering, is to start with research. Now let's say you're going to cover the Durham City Council. You'll want to start by going to the city's website. And you're in luck. The Durham City Council has a fairly robust web presence, including member biographies, committee assignments, and community involvement. You'll also have meeting agendas and minutes, audio and video recordings of meetings and work sessions. Now, once you gather all of your research and attend your first meeting, your job is to clarify, condense, and concentrate. Meetings are boring, remember, but that doesn't mean your story has to be. Determine what the most important and relevant information is and present it in a way that shows its impact for your readers. Get to the meeting early. Introduce yourself to the participants. Get a good seat, but one that will allow you to exit quickly and quietly to talk to any speakers or spectators if necessary. Then stick around after the meeting to ask any follow-up questions and get reactions from the crowd. Finally, remember to focus on the issues, not the meetings themselves. It's not important that a specific board met, but what they talked about during the meeting. Personalize the meeting by writing about real people and real issues. Every meeting story should include the name of the group or agency meeting, the location and length of the meeting, any important decisions. Discuss significant votes that are taken or policies adopted, and again, what that means for your readers. Include quotes from officials, experts, or others who may have addressed the group. Reactions from speakers, spectators, and those impacted by the decisions, even if they weren't present at the actual meeting. Estimate the crowd size and the atmosphere. Was it friendly, rowdy, tense? Use graphics to better convey your message, like maps to show road closures, drawings of a new design proposal, or charts to help simplify budgets. Be sure to mention any unusual events or departures from the published agenda. And finally, tell your readers what happens next. Government is too important to be entrusted to politicians, which is why the press plays such an important role in public affairs, and why the First Amendment guarantees them the right to do so. When covering campaigns and elections, be it national or local, prioritize. The smaller your news outlet, the less you will be able to cover. Focus on the races and issues of greatest importance to your readers. And if you don't have a lot of resources, reach out to other news outlets to help you fill gaps in your coverage. Now, when the 2012 Democratic National Convention was held in Charlotte, North Carolina, NC State Student Media sent a team of students to cover it. It was an excellent opportunity for them, and we got a lot of good material in return. We were not, however, able to send a team to Tampa to cover the Republican National Convention. Instead, the student editor arranged with some student newspapers in Florida to help provide us with their stories on that event, and we in turn provided them with our coverage. It was the perfect way to balance our coverage, so we weren't focusing more on one political party just because it was more convenient for us to cover it. You'll want to get to know your candidates up close and personal. What are their goals, their message? Who is supporting them, personally and financially? Do your homework. Don't just repeat campaign messages, but follow up with tough questions. Use reliable experts like activists and former politicians, and use nonpartisan, unbiased experts like professors as well to help explain complex issues. Decide what matters to your readers and question the candidates on those important issues. You'll want to brainstorm story ideas. You don't need to tell the same stories every election cycles, so see what's new and interesting. Finally, make the most of the internet. For every major election, Indy Week in Raleigh-Durham does a thorough online voters guide with extended questions and answers. If you have the technical skills, you can even create an online quiz to show your readers the politicians whose views most align with their own. It is vital that journalists keep tabs on government policies and players. People need to understand the decision-making process, how issues are debated, how laws are passed, how policies are implemented, and most importantly, how they apply to them. People need to understand the election process. Who are the candidates? How do they get elected? And how do they perform once they're in office? Finally, people need to follow the money. Where does it come from? Where does it go? And how does anything get paid for? To help collect those facts, you'll need to attend meetings like the City Council, Student Senate, and School Board. Major announcements or policy speeches will help you get the facts. And the good old news release can help you keep track of important events. News conferences are an effective way for politicians to disseminate their messages to many members of the press at once. Check in with your network of sources to find out what's really going on, as well as to verify or contradict what you're being told by politicians. Finally, dig up government reports and records for historical data and to help you identify trends.